Ang dami ko ng recording na nagawa. Anyways, I'll be walking you through the tools that we are using to develop and the prerequisite that it is needed to be able to develop and push code to the repository and how to build and update the MCP tools that we have. In our case, it is SAR. So first things first, you need to have the VPN configured so that you will have an access to our GitLab. Our GitLab is found behind a VPN, very, very secure. That's why you need to have the VPN. And then the second thing is you need to have your GitLab account. But again, without your GitLab account, you cannot access the GitLab and you cannot access the repositories that you're using and submit code. So yeah, that's it. That, then you have the GitLab. So with GitLab, for example, if you wanted to create an MCP that, let's say, gathers data from our competitors, what are they doing? Then we can create an MCP for that and an MCP server for that, and to place that code, you just need to create a repository and then put it on the. And the other thing is we can clone our existing code, in this case it's the story of, to your local machines, and then start developing the MCP tool. There are two ways to clone or to copy. The in GitLab terms, it is called as clone, but it's just copying code or copying data from the server to our local machine. There are two ways to do that. Number one is through SSH, and the second one is through HTTPS. Both of them are secured, are a secured way to copy or to clone codes from the repository going to our local machine. Difference is that with SSHP, once you've set up your SSHP in GitLab, it will not ask you for passwords when doing Git operations that involves calling the service or calling the remote repository. With HTTPS, for example, you call git pull, git push, fetch origin, or other stuff that involves calling the remote server, it will ask you for password. Once you've once you've your Python, then just go to your terminal and then go to the folder where you wanted the code to be cloned, and then perform this command git clone, and then paste paste the URL. Once you paste, after pasting, hit enter, then what it does is it will uh, clone that folder. It will copy that folder from the remote repository going to your local machine. In my case, I've already done that, so it is already existing in in this folder on my local machine. Once you've once the clone's done, then we can now start developing or updating the story ops uh, MCP service. So folder structures. So for the folder structure, we have the root story ops name. Folder name. We have the source where we put the source code. We have story ops module. We have well, it's just folders, but we call it modules. We have core modules and we have an entity module. For the core modules, these are 4 5 for help us the the software. In AutoTY, it handles authentication, server, but um, what was that again? The service account. Just the service account uses the service account to authenticate us and to have to be able to have those. the MCP tool to read data from our database. We have config, where these are static, these are static files or static variables. We just declare them. Parsor.py. This is a helper function to be able to get data from Parsor. Um, it is here so that we will prevent um, performing or writing this code for every field that we use that helper. And then lastly, we have model.py, where it represents the data structure, how we structure our data from the database, and how we are, uh, how do we want to do this? So, and then the meat or the meat of the code, the server is PY, where all of your MCP tools that is visible to the agent is listed here. So, um, the needed thing to be able to develop an MCP server is you need to have this library imported, fast MCP. Um, it handles every connection on the background. You don't have to think of that. I don't have to think about that as well because the library is doing it for me. What we're doing here is we are declaring an MCP server with a name with a name or and then the second thing so that the agent would know the tools that it is available for use is we have to declare our functions where the story tool annotation. The difference between the storage tool and the story to put it in perspective, storage tools or the MCP tools are just like regular Python functions that are public. Um, the difference is that with the annotation, the agent sees that this tool is available for them to use. Without that annotation, even if it's public, the agent will not know that this function is available for use because it doesn't know it doesn't see it. So this is really, really important to be able to create new functions and new tools for the agent to use. I think that everything that's the basics, and then yeah, for more information, I recommend you read the README file. We have here the list of tools that we have developed, the parameters for those tools, and what are the expected outputs for those tools. So yeah, I think there's README and there's Claude.md where it represents the folder structure, the architecture, and all. Yeah. And I think that's everything. The code, if you, I think you've mentioned that you've had a cloud subscription. Yeah, so Cloud.md is really is there to be able to inform Claude that this is the structure there's also a and there you have it. I believe I've explained everything. I believe I had explained everything. And if you have any questions, clarifications, please feel free to ask. I'd be happy to answer them.